Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day or night it is that you're watching or listening to this, I wish you the best of it. My name is Grant Lamontang, and I own multitool.org, and you are listening to the EDC TV Podcast. With us today, as always, is my good friend Abe Elias, owner of Diving Sparrow Knife Works, and field editor for Blade Magazine. How are you today, Abe?
Good. How are you today?
I'm just ducky. And also with us is the Rabbi Chris Oster. How you doing, Inky?
I am okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, somebody was asking me where the name Rabbi came from, because I occasionally refer to you as the Rabbi. And it's actually a funny story, because it's part of an old gamer tag. Inky and I used to play Unreal Tournament 2003. And Inky was always there to back you up with a health pack or, some cover fire. And so we wanted to call him Saint Inky, but that just unfortunately shortened to Stinky. So we started calling him Rabbi instead. And that's where that comes from. So there you go. There's your history lesson for today. Today we are going to be covering flashlights. And I've got a few interesting ones here to show. But we will get into that in a minute. Abe, have you got something you wanted to start us off with?
So I've got two uses for flashlights, which I keep on referring to this. People are probably going to get tired of hearing it, because I do the handyman stuff, and I get into some different situations. Sometimes I just need a general casting light. So these are cheapies, and I find sometimes the cheapie is absolutely amazing. So this is the, I don't want to blind anybody, but there's the end light on this. That's the strobe. There's the end light on this one, so that's really not strong. And then this is broken because I just dropped it, I betcha. There we go, there's the dome, right? So this has got a magnet on the back. Stuff like that, I find, if you look at your hardware store, you don't have to pay a ton of money. God forbid, I just said it. Don't have to pay a ton of money for a flashlight. I've got stuff like this. These are what I use. They're magnets, and basically, this is a dollar store one. This thing is amazingly powerful. I don't know how many lumens it is, but it's super strong. But then you get into stuff like what I have in my pocket here. You can't see it. Let me pan down. You can look at my boob. There's my boob. And this is a Nebo. So this is kind of interesting. It's got a little light from the side. And then there's this other Nebo. This one I was a little disappointed in. So it works perfectly well, but it's got a rotating head. And it goes to 90 degrees. The problem is that head rotates too easily. So when you want to use it up front, sometimes it's not in position, or sometimes it's halfway in between. You got to take a moment to. So there's just some. And then there's this, my latest one that I'm carrying right now is my Olight arc light. But this has got to be probably, I'm guessing, the weakest version, because I'm not getting a really strong light out of it. And the UV light, well, because I have to work on bathrooms, I never turn that UV light on. Because I don't want to see what I'm crawling around in.
Good man. Anyways, that's a sensible thing.
That's just a really quick cross section. I mean, I've got way more lights because I'm an addict, like probably the rest of the people watching.
So what kind of things do you look for in a flashlight generally?
Well, like when I do the handyman thing, I'm looking for cheap, something that because it might get broken while I'm using it, or it might, fall in the toilet. But I definitely like a general casting light. I like something not so directed, more of a floodlight when I'm doing the handyman work, right? Because I got to work also up close, so it doesn't pay. Like if I had a 5,000 lumen light and I'm trying to shine on something small I'm looking at, it doesn't help me out. It blinds me, right? When I'm doing other EDC, just the casual EDC, I'm looking for something that has the flexibility between power and then also to have like a dimmer mode, so that way I can look at things really close. I also look, we've talked about this before, and I'm sure we'll get into it later, is I also look like for ease of control. Like this arc light, you can't get much easier, right? You got a knob on there, you're either in the UV mode or you're not, right? But I don't want something where you need an engineering degree to figure out how to get through the modes.
This is starting to sound kind of familiar, and I think we're going to touch on that a little bit more later. In the meantime, Inky, what do you like in a flashlight?
It's mostly utilitarian for me. I have different ones for different reasons.
Okay.
That's it. No, I'm just kidding. Let me see. Do you want to see anything?
I mean, if you've got something, I'm always game.
I have things.
this is a show, we have invested in video. I would like to take this moment to apologize to the viewers to actually be able to see me clearly and without the beard, which I know is very unpleasant for an awful lot of people.
It was horrifying for me when you first popped on. I was like, literally, I had to go get my own defibrillator.
Did your flashlight star and find the Nebo? No. This is the Ozark. It's real bright, so I can't use it for general reasons.
That looks a little bit big for pocket carry there.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold it up high because I'm in your way. My video's in your way.
Wow,
that's huge. Holy shit. That's the home defense.
Oh, these pocket flashlights only? This is my bloomer carry. It's like a pocket. But it's really, really bright. So you can't, it's no good for anything close. Even the weak light is too strong. So I really need to,
what
this
brand
is
is
like outside. It's actually an Ozark, but I had it for years. It's rechargeable. You spin this boy here. And my friend, I got it at Walmart. My friend gave me a gift certificate. It's just rechargeable. It works well, but the brightest setting only works for about 30 seconds and it shuts off. That's how bright it is. I don't know how bright it is, but it's scary bright. Then I got this just because of the color. I got this used. Someone gave this to me. I think my brother-in-law gave it to me. I don't have to find it, do I? Can we just talk about it? Yeah, that one. That's somewhere. How about this one? I use this for a, what's this? It's a 13T EOS. Olight.
Okay.
It's a little bit more. I actually like the other one better. The little one. The one battery one. This got a very sticky clicky. Watch this clicky.
The E3, are you thinking?
The littlest one battery. See how long it takes to shut off? Oh, yeah. I like the color of this. It's like a regular Rayovac. It's very weak. I thought it was the batteries, but it's not. That looks strong, but it's not that strong.
Now, what kind of battery does that take?
This takes AAAs, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I did mention was I'm gotten away from the CRs.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't work anymore, that one, so I won't be using that one anymore. Oh, this is my favorite right here. This is a modified Maglite. I love this thing. We talked about this probably around the first episode.
Yeah,
this thing is great.
That was one of the episodes that we didn't end up releasing, so maybe we'll have to pull some archive footage of that and show you.
It's really awesome. It's a.
Why don't you tell us what's modified about it there, Inky?
I have no idea. I got it like this in a trade. It's probably the bulb or something. It's XL50. It's just a nice, really nice Maglite. I like these, even though I'm not a Maglite guy. I got rid of all my SureFires and all that, And,
yeah, I've got a ton of SureFires too, Inky, and there's you can buy a aftermarket kit to change them over to LED. If you look at the price of those aftermarket kits, you're almost rebuying. Here's one of my daily carries. It's not too bad. It's pretty bright, but yeah, it's a SureFire and it's the old incandescent bulb.
Yeah, they're only like the ones I had were like 50, 75 lumens anyway. I did the Defender, E2D, the Nitrolon, all of those type of ones. And it really just wound up, it was $5 a battery back then. What was that? Almost 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Watch out for some of those LED upgrade kits. I recently got my father's old, the old military bent head flashlights.
I like those things.
Oh, they're great. I'm just trying to remember what they're called there. But I bought an LED upgrade kit on Amazon, and it doesn't work at all. So it's Fulton MX 991/U. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't grab it in preparation for this recording because that would have been sensible, and therefore that's not something I'm capable of doing.
Well, I called SureFire up and they sent me to this site. I forget what it is. Started with an M or something like that, and that was them. They said, no, you go there and you just punch in your model or aftermarket, and I went there. I didn't have to punch in my model. I just looked at the prices and said, holy.
Yeah. Yeah, I used just a standard Maglite upgrade bulb, and it doesn't seem to be working, so I'll have to see about returning it or just getting another one. I also got, for that one, now I'm really wishing I had brought it, in for this recording. I had bought USB-C rechargeable D-cell batteries for it, which would effectively take this ancient classic and turn it into a modern-day rechargeable LED flashlight, which, if I can ever get the whole thing working, I think would be just absolutely fantastic to have. But,
Yeah.
I am not interested, like you, Abe. I'm not interested in those fancy batteries anymore. The 18650s and the CR123s and the whatever the heck they are. I've got no interest in them anymore. And that was actually something back in the old days. Back in 2004, we were hit with a hurricane, and we lost power for a week solid. A few of the little mom and pop stores were open, but they were only taking cash because, of course, the debit and credit machines were all offline. So if you had cash, you could purchase batteries, but none of these kinds of places carry CR123s or 18650s or whatever other fancy batteries you have. What they do have is they've got usually AA's, AAA's, maybe some 9 volts, possibly some C cells, and very rarely, but entirely possible, some D cells as well. So I tend to try to stick to those as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I also generally like the rechargeable lights nowadays, particularly the ones that are rechargeable through USB. I have a really interesting light that I want to talk about tonight. It is long since discontinued. I don't think the company admits to its existence anymore, which is really too bad because I think that they were onto something, and I think that if they were to revisit this concept, it would be fantastic. And this is the NextTorch MyTorch. What is it? The MyTorch AA, and it's powered by AA batteries, obviously. One of the neat things is it's a clicky tail, but this actually glows in the dark. This back end here, which is really handy to find in the dark.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Quite dead at the moment, but it takes a AA battery. Nowadays, I feel like they could upgrade that to a rechargeable one. And the reason I say that is because if you twist the head here, like a lot of them where you adjust the beam strength or the floodiness of the beam, this one here actually has something, a little hidden secret. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but that is a mini USB port. And what you could do with this is it came with software that you could run on your laptop, and you could program various modes and brightnesses in whatever combinations you wanted. And I really like that because, when this came out, you had the options of, Streamlights and Phoenixes and things like that. And of course, they all had a different UI. It was 2 clicks did this on this one, but 2 clicks did something totally different on that one. And because of that, I always found it was sort of a pain in the ass to jump between different flashlight manufacturers. So the neat thing about this is you could say, well, I like the UI from brand X, and I can duplicate it in this one. But the rudimentary programming app that you had with this was actually so effective that I actually, just to see if it could be done, I created a mode in this where it would flash SOS in Morse code. So I would just press the button once, and it would go flash, 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 flash. And then it would repeat, flash, 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 flash. And it was absolutely great. Now, there's no weird modes in this, like I can't flip to a red LED or a green LED or anything like that. It's just a straight up white LED. But I tell you, this size was very handy. And if they were to come up with this in a modern day version, maybe, I don't know, Bluetooth or something where I can connect to it with my phone and, download the NextTorch app and program this and have it USB rechargeable, I think this would just be an amazing light. And come to think of it, I haven't actually checked in with NextTorch in a while, so I'm probably describing something they actually do have in their lineup. And I'm sure I'm going to get a whole lot of emails correcting me on that.
Which is okay, because that's how we find out about new gears, because there's people don't realize that. This is what I ran into really quick, is what I ran into in the knife community. every SHOT Show, I had to see no less than 35 companies. And then people would say, have you seen the new blah, blah, blah Ultra XA? And I go like, I don't, and they go, you call yourself a knife guy? It's like, well, I tell you what, name more than 5 knife companies for me. And then they'd be looking at me like, and it was like, when you're in this industry, especially now with technology, not only in the knives, the LEDs, like crap, every time I turn on Amazon's suggesting an LED or a knife to me from a company I've never even heard of before.
Yeah, for sure. And at SHOT, I mean, 35 companies. You see 35 companies just walking in the door.
Yeah, now it's now. Back then it was like when it was back in Florida, and Bruce Boyles, my boss, he had to attend a relative's wedding. So he said, you're in charge of all the new releases this year. I was like, what? And so I saw 35 companies. I had appointments with 35 companies, and and as I'm walking along, like I said, see a new company, I would meet with them, right?
So that's Bruce Boyles from Knives Illustrated you're talking about, isn't it?
Yes. My former editor. I worked for as a field editor for them for the first 10 years of my writing. I'm in my 23rd year of writing, so I've had I've worked for all 4 major magazines. But back to before I forget the name of it, but I thought one of the most amazing LEDs, and I was so sorry I lost it. And I didn't lose it. I lost it like it got destroyed because the batteries blew up in it, right? And I couldn't clean it out at the time and get it because of how it was structured. Do you remember Gerber had an LED that took CR123s, it took AA's, and it took AAA's. I thought as an EDC carry, that was you had your choice of 3 batteries. As an EDC carry, that was amazing because no matter, you were bound to be able to find one of those 3, the CRs being the harder ones, but then just if you could find AA's, well, you get AAA's. You couldn't find AAA's, that was a great light, and I don't know why they didn't keep producing that.
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember the model name on that one. But I tell you, talking about old Gerbers, and yes, you're right. Something that would take different battery types would definitely be handy, and I can definitely see the benefit of that. But the old Gerber that I really miss, and it was a little bit bigger around than this next torch, but it was only about 2/3 of the length, and that was the Gerber Infinity Ultra. And there was just nothing special about that one whatsoever. You just twisted the tail cap and light came out the end. It was, I believe, an aluminum or steel body. It was virtually indestructible. It wasn't overly bright, but it had a pocket clip, and I think they were about $11 or $12. I really, really love that light. I think they actually bought the design or the rights to the design or something like that from another company. I think they might have been called Infinity. Once again, I'm going to get people writing in to correct me on this. And if you want to write in and correct me, we have a forum for that. It's at forum.multitool.org, and I'm going to put the link probably somewhere right up here. So that way you can come and make me look stupid on my own forum. But you know what? I actually enjoy that. So come on, do your worst.
And better than making Grant look stupid, show up on there and tell us what your favorite light is. Like we said, I'm finding new companies all the time. I would love to read through there, and because I'm an addict and don't like to save money for retirement, I would love to read through there and all of a sudden, oh my God, I need to get that light. Because Grant does that to me on this show all the time. You might as well do that to me too.
Wow, glutton, eh?
Yeah, he sounds like he's asking for it.
Yeah.
So, well, I only have about 500 LEDs sitting around me right now. Why not make it 501?
Yeah, I mean, we've already made him buy a G-Shock, and what else was it we made you buy there, Abe?
I haven't bought a G-Shock yet, but it's on my watch list, and I'm hovering like a vulture for Good Friday prices. Well, this here, which we were probably going to get to eventually, the Wuben, that was your fault, asshole.
I have it right in my hand here waiting.
Yeah. That was your fault. I bought that, and it's by no means I want to say it's bad, but Grant and I will detail our issues with it. The pen, the Olight pen. That was your fault. The arc light, that was your fault too. If I had to go through the shit that was your fault, Grant, we would take up a whole entire show. So let's just leave it at those 3 for now.
And this is, episode 5 that we're on right now, and that's already quite a list.
So since we're talking about, God, Grant, you can never stay on topic. Since we're talking about flashlights tonight, Jesus. Since we're talking about flashlights tonight.
This is entirely what the forum is about. You start talking about one topic, and about 6 posts in, somehow you're talking about manhole covers in Slovenia. But that's just the way it goes. So I've been really happy with this one lately. This is the Olight O-Clip Pro. It's got a USB rechargeable battery in it. It takes a USB-C like everything else takes a USB-C. Your phone, your tablet, your iPad, whatever. It's got a nice clip on the back so you can hook it to, I actually hook this to my belt at my cottage when I'm going out after dark. But I've hooked this to the straps on a backpack a few times, and it's really great. It's kind of like a modern day version of that Fulton flashlight, the bent head military one. In fact, I like this one so much that I immediately purchased another one for my father, and he absolutely loves it. That's the first thing he said was that it reminds him of his old bent head flashlight. Which is, of course, why I have it now, because he then had to dig it out and give it to me. But the neat thing is it's got 3 different modes, and they're accessible by just turning a switch. And I don't know how well you can see that, but those modes are actually marked there. You flip the switch to whatever mode you want. You want a red LED, a floodlight, or a spotlight, and then you turn it on, and the appropriate LED turns on. And then if you want it to go brighter or dimmer, you just press and hold the button, and it cycles through its modes. You basically just release the button when you get to a mode that you want. And that, to me, that's what you want in a flashlight, because no matter which mode it's on, you're going to get a usable light coming out of it. And then it's simply a matter of adjusting it to whatever you want. Of course, you can switch the modes while it's on. You're not hurting anything. So it's, this is... To me, a flashlight is something that, it's a piece of emergency equipment. Maybe every time you use it is not an emergency, but in an emergency, this is one of the things that you're going to want to reach for. And it needs to be simple enough to operate that I can put it in somebody's hand and they can immediately look at it, press a button, and have light come out. If it can't do the job immediately without reading the manual, it is worthless. And that...
How does it feel to just hold it and use it?
To just hold it and use it?
Does it feel weird, like?
No, not at all. I find it...
Is it like holding like a...
It's...
You kind of get, how you kind of get your certain grips on your flashlight?
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna...
I'm gonna leave
do the police grip there with it, but I generally don't... It's got so many different ways of mounting it that, it's not really...
Oh, I didn't know you were mounting it.
Well, I mean, it's got the clip, and it's actually got a fairly strong magnet, which of course, for some reason, it's not grabbing this SOG. Let me see if it'll grab a Leatherman here. Now, all these multi-tool manufacturers are using cheap metal. It's actually a pretty strong magnet. I have no idea why it's not... Oh, there we go. So there you go. It's, it holds on to things pretty good, so you don't really need to even hold it. You can clip it onto something. You can stick it with a magnet, assuming that thing is metal.
Yeah, put it on here. Put it right here. There's a magnet.
There we go. Is it
oh,
stick?
Yeah. Oh, I can't.
Which, of course, brings me to a very similar flashlight on the market, and I know Abe and I are going to commiserate on this one. And that is the Wuben G... Is it G2?
I love a Ruben, especially...
G5.
I love like a hot open face Ruben.
G5.
I really, really, really want to like this light. I love the form factor. I love the size. I love the shape. It fits so perfectly in a watch pocket. It's virtually identical to a large Zippo lighter, which we're all familiar with.
Yeah.
It's it's got an adjustable head that rotates 90 degrees, which is handy. It's got a pocket clip here, which is probably one of the most pointless pocket clips on the market. It has a magnet that is almost strong enough to hold it on something if you lay it on top of it. And this is exactly everything that's wrong with this type of flashlight. It is the Olight done wrong.
Yeah.
Now, how do you compare that to, like, say, a grilled Wuben with French dressing or something?
I much prefer the grilled Wuben. This one here, I can't just throw this in somebody's hand and they press the button and light comes out, because this button right here, this is the power button, okay? So I'm going to press that and you tell me how much light you see.
Do you hold it for 5 seconds or something?
No. So what you have here on the side is this 3-position switch, and it is well marked. So if you know this light, then you know that you have to flip this out of the first position into the middle position, and then you can have light.
I guess that makes it like a double safety, right, of some sort?
Yeah.
Sort of.
That part for us, like as the users who know it, I like it. But as we're talking about the second part of where if I just handed it to somebody, it's problematic because we know it's there. So it's if it's in my pocket, I kind of like the idea because I carry a lot of stuff in my pockets. It can't be jostled around. But as a light where I just want to hand it to somebody and say, here, hold this for me, shine it on the work, or do this for me, no, I don't like it. Because now at that point in time, I either got to stop and put the switch off myself, or I got to explain it to them. That's not, to cut you off there, not to cut you off, Grandpa, that, I mean, like, it's not to say the light is totally bad. There are some great features, like Grant mentioned, the pivoting head. So I can either hold it like this, or I can actually turn it into grade 1 phaser off of Star Trek, right? But yeah, other than that, yeah, go ahead, Grant. Sorry, I'll give it back to you to detail what else is wrong with it.
No, it's nice to have that that validation there. So yeah, and you're absolutely right. The big problem with this is just you need, now if you know this light, and like Abe said, if you know this light, then it's actually not that bad. Except that I have found myself, and I know this light well enough that I've had to explain it to people a few times. Even I, owning this light for months now and using it, even I just press the button and go, oh yeah, that's right, this stupid thing. So if you take that 3-position switch there and you move it all the way over, then you get to the USB-C port, which is where you charge it from. And that's handy. I like that. And I like the fact that that little switch does cover that port, so that way you're not going to get pocket lint or other things in there that are going to cause problems. And then, of course, once the light is on, you press and hold, and it switches to the colored LEDs, and then this little knob right here, which you would expect is the kind of thing that you would use to, cycle through the modes, is exactly what you would use to cycle through the modes. And it's nice because then you can also go back. So if you are going through the modes and you decide, oh, I wanted that other color, you don't have to cycle all the way through again. You can literally just go back. And then, of course, if you're in the...
No, so the thing I like about that
if you're in the
too,
white mode, you can use the same knob to
Yes.
increase and decrease the brightness. So
instead of clicking a
once
bunch
you've
of
got
times.
the thing,
So.
once you've got the thing on, it's not bad. But like I
It
said,
seems like a little practice will get you there. How
and
often do you use colored lights? Often?
Yeah. So
I really don't. But
see, sorry to cut you off. See, what bugs me is on this light. This is, like I said, not all the features are bad on that Wuben. So on this light, if I want light, I get this really weak light with the first click, second click. So to me, I don't want to click 5,000 times to get intensity. So I kind of like that wheel. Just saying.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
cool.
I like the wheel. There's a lot to like about this flashlight. But to me, it fails miserably because I can't just hand this to somebody and say, here, go in the basement and check the fuse or something. Because it's going to take you 5 minutes to figure out how to turn the damn thing on.
Yeah.
And to go along with this, you've got this pocket clip on the side here, which, as you can see, recesses almost perfectly in there. So for reasons beyond sanity, you can flip it to one side or the other, which is handy for me because this is how I carry it in my my Maxpedition organizer. I have the pocket clip off to the side, and I clip it in, and it works nicely. But the problem is, there's just too much going on with this light. So if I hand this to you and I say, here, hold this for me, and you're going to go, what? How? I'm going to say, oh, yeah, that's right, sorry. That one there, you got to flip the thing on the side. You're going to be like, oh, okay. and you're going to start playing with the pocket clip, trying to figure the pocket clip out, and I'm going to say, no, the other side, and you're going to, you're just going to be lost using this thing.
How about if you put it on the mode and hand it to them?
If you were going to hand it to somebody, it's the kind of light that you got to set it up first for them, get it working, and then just hand it to them. Say, okay, walk all the way down to the basement. To me, the slang phrase I would use for this is an all-season bagel light, right? They tried to cover too much stuff in one light, and there's some stuff that works, and some stuff like the form of it, like you said, the lighter. What I do is with this, I clip this in my cargo pocket. Right? I clip it in my cargo pocket and carry it. This here, I put in my wallet pocket because it carries well that way once you flip the clip over, right?
Yeah.
But like Grant said, it flips around. It's a little wobbly. Like you see that there, it moves a bit. It's like I said, it's not all bad. There's some good features to it. Like I like Grant.
There's a lot of good
features
to it. I really like this light, except for the fact that I hate it.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that I hate this light, I think it's really great. It's just, they kind of had the design in mind, and they just sort of flubbed it at the last second. Like, for example, this one also has a magnet on the bottom, but it is nowhere near as powerful as the Olight version. And it's even weaker still when you have as I do, the lanyard here, attachment, just holds that magnet off of something just by a tiny fraction of an inch, but it's enough to, take an already weak magnet and weaken it even more.
That's why I cut mine off, or didn't cut it off. I took it off.
Yeah, I left it on because I like having a lanyard. I do a lot of stuff around the water, and as far as I'm concerned, if it's not secured, it's not yours. So I'm a big fan of lanyards, but this is a very frustrating little light. That having been said, I think I've got 2 other Wubens in my shopping cart waiting for me to pull the trigger on them. So obviously it hasn't turned me off too much.
They've got when you look at the Wuben company, they've got an interesting lineup. They've got they're going with the current trend to where it's flat lights. I mean, for God's sakes, Husky even has a flat light now, but they want I won't pay the money for it because of the Husky, and they want like $24.99 for it. I'm waiting until they're on clearance or something like that. But they have
big money for a Husky.
Well, that and only the other thing too that's it's not this long. Like this is another light that I carry for the handyman work. It's got a movable magnet on the back. The Husky is probably about that long, but this has got takes double A's. This here is got just enough magnet to where I would hang it, like say on a electrical panel door in a house where I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But if you start jostling that door, it's not gonna take it. It's gonna take a crash to the ground. But the swivel head is an excellent idea because you can use it in this position, like I said, or you can turn it into a forward flashlight. There are some very good features about this. If you don't muck with it and you set it on the highest setting, you can just click the button and turn it on if you remember to pull off the safety switch. But again, I've done just like Grant has done. When I was carrying it around to first test it and see how I liked it, I pulled it out, hit the button, got to move the switch up. Then you move the switch too far up and you expose the charging point. So if you're in an area like I'm often in with a lot of dirt or moisture, I got it's going on, like, broken pipes. I had a flooded basement the other week. You don't want water getting in there, so you try not to.
Yep. I mean, it is, I believe, a waterproof outlet, but, I mean, you're not going to be able to recharge it while it's wet. So, while the water won't really hurt it, it is inconvenient if you get it in there. One of the nice things about it is, though, this 3-position switch, it's only in the far position that it is, the light is locked out. If you go to either the middle position or the top position, which is the full-on charging position, the light does light up. So, you've got 2 out of 3 there, so it's, I guess, not really that bad, but it's just the one that it's on is, the one that it's not going to work on,
Yeah.
When you're likely the mode you're likely carrying it in.
Yeah, I could live with the safety switch. Sorry, Inky, go ahead.
No, okay.
I could live with the safety switch, but I think they would be like, where's your pro clip there, Grant? Yeah, flip it around. Flip it around. I think if they put a button system on it where you could choose between the red and the white, and you didn't have to worry about that. I think that would make it a little bit better. I mean, they've got room right here, which makes more sense to me. Like the side's not bad, but if they had a button here and here, of course, then because the other thing too is yes, this does like a 180. I can turn it back. I can turn the light back on myself. But who really needs I mean, if you're going to be on the side, you only need to really be on one side. If you're going to be out the front, you only need to be out one front. So why not have a dedicated back with some easier to operate buttons on it? That's the other thing too, right?
I agree completely.
So, because this here, which Grant covered, you gotta, okay, so, and here's the other problem too, and it sounds kind of, some guys will say, if you can't remember something, if you have like 20 different LEDs and you haven't carried this in like half a year, and you go to pick it up, you're sitting there going, well, I'm on red, I'm on the colored lights, how do I get off the colored lights? And you gotta think, okay, this one did this one did this. You were mentioned earlier with the one that you could program. I remember having the, photon. You guys remember? Up until a little while ago, I carried a photon on my keychain. I've had it for years, and I had one a long time ago. But the rubber on the button degraded, but that had an SOS function to it, right? So yeah, but could I remember readily how to get to it? No. So
well, when this next torch came out, there were it was not the only programmable light on the market. There were others, but the problem with them was you had to enter the programming mode on it. It was generally, one click to turn it on, one click to go brighter, one more click to go brightest, and, one more click would go to strobe mode. But then if you clicked it 17 times, it would go into programming mode. And, trying to operate all of that with one button was just crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that this Wuben has gone a little too far the other way with too many features and options and gadgets and gizmos and switches. And, I mean... It's nice, it really is, but I would have simplified this. Or at the very least, I would have offered the Wuben G 4.5 or whatever that, had some stripped down options. Instead of having, a colored LED and a white LED, just give me two white LEDs and the ability to, go brighter or darker. Use both lights or just use one, to save battery.
Yeah.
But there are times when you do want to have ultra blinding light where, you can shine it down the street and see people's innards from 2 miles away. There's times when you do want to light that bright.
And that's, sorry, go ahead.
I just think that would have been a better use on this one. So if you are a flashlight designer and you are looking for some honest feedback, give us a call. You can find us at forum.multitool.org or at edctv@multitool.org. You can email us directly there.
And maybe, who knows, maybe one of these days Wuben might see this. That's the other thing that we didn't talk about is this is strictly flood. So it's close range. You can light up maybe the other side of a room. I had this on me, and I had to do some wiring on my gun range because I'm the range officer. I'm the range chair and maintenance, and I put in brand new LEDs. But you don't want to obviously have the circuits live while you're putting them in. So I had to go out there and just check some stuff out before I brought in my work lights. Long story short, it's a 25-yard range, and this did not cover to the back. It gave even at high mode, it only just kind of cast. So that's the one thing this thing misses is as we're with even that $5 light that I had. Where's my $5?
I tried it at any distance.
Yeah, see, I got a broad, but I didn't get a crisp. But here, this has got the old flashlight foreskin going on, where you push it forward and you get the sharper light, you get more distance out of it. I mean, it was. I'm not saying it was dark, but I couldn't get a focus on an area. Like if I needed to look at an area with this at the back, I wasn't going to get it because this is just more of at least mine's casting. It's got a general casting. Right. Right now, I can look to the back corner of my living room from the kitchen here, and I can light up that whole wall, no problem, and see everything. But that's probably only 30 feet away.
Okay.
Right. But you want to go 25 meters, it's still, the light is general, you can still see it, but I can't go where I want to, like, if I wanted to look at what was on your waist or what was in your hands, and I want to light you specifically, it doesn't have that feature. That's the only other thing. I'm not saying it has to be on there, but for people looking to buy this, it doesn't have something like that, right? So, It's don't get me wrong, it's pretty powerful. But see, there I just want
uh,
to try and use it.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about that light. If you can get it turned on, then it's great. But if you can't, if you're fiddling with it when it should be on, and you're falling down the basement stairs because of it, then it was a complete and utter waste of time. And speaking of time, gentlemen, we are coming to the end of another episode here. So, Inky, got any final thoughts that you'd like to share with people on flashlights, what you like, what you don't like, and anything that you really want to have people remember you for, I guess?
Maybe remembered as a superhero and someone that could leap things and bound and fly really high, and I'm bulletproof. And it could be invisible.
What does that have to do with flashlights?
I know you said you want to be remembered for. I don't know.
Well, I was meaning, flashlight-related things you'd like to be remembered for. We all know you're a superhero.
I just say, I like flashlights. I use what I feel necessary. That's all.
I mean, that's really the bottom line, isn't it?
I do have a lot of them, but different things for different things.
Is there anything in particular you tend to gravitate towards?
I usually grab this it's
Maglite.
great, really, really far direct beam if you need it, and it's the second beam is all right. I could get a little bright, but it's not bad.
To me, the
I like
Maglites,
this.
The Maglites always need to be black, but I tell you that I really like that color. That sort of
It's a
dark
nice
gray.
gray. I like this, but the tail cap is really sticky.
Yeah.
It's annoyingly sticky. Like, watch when I shut it off, okay? It's off.
Oh,
It's kind of stuck. And I don't know why it bothers me. Plus, it's hard to get a little grip on this thing. But I like this.
yeah, it definitely looks like it's designed for somebody with smaller hands.
Yeah, it's just a large, whatever the tiniest one is, pretty much. You never seen these guys? What's
I
the
have
little one's called? 3T?
I have the smaller one, yeah, the E3.
Oh, 13E.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I love those. Are great.
I like those, but they remind me too much of the Maglite Solitaire, which I also love, but I really hate the twisting the head on it to turn it on and off.
Yeah, those things are just.
Yeah, I don't like twisting.
Well, you could do the Watusi, the Charleston.
Well, there you go. I feel like the Charleston is more your department there, Inky.
I can do the hustle.
So, what about you, Abe? Any final thoughts you'd like to share before we wrap this up?
No, I think we covered a lot today. I think we covered a lot, and it's again, it's the same story as usual for me. You gotta apply the application, like that baton. That's a big bulky light, but like if I'm working on stuff like an electrical panel or something like this pretty much lights like a big lantern. It lights up the whole entire area. Where this here is more likely what I would carry, like this size or this size on an everyday.
Yeah, there's the technology has gotten to the point where what used to be a high-end tactical light, 10 years ago, costing, $150, $200 is now outclassed by the $6.99 bargain bin offering from Home Depot.
That one I showed you, it's called a Vortex. It's super powerful, and it was $5 at the dollar store.
Can't argue with that.
You
The only thing I worry about with those cheap lights is when they're going to take a crap on you. So I like to have, just in case, I like to have something that has a little bit more of a reputation,
I agree. There's something to be said for name brands.
Yeah, usually.
But,
Even nowadays, it seems like it pretty much is the same stuff.
What self-respecting EDC guy only has one flashlight on him anyway? I mean, the old saying, 2 is 1 and 1 is none, right?
True.
Yeah. Well, it's like this is $7 on sale. It's $7.96 for this baton, right? And this is the second one I've had. And you're right, Inky, they take crap on you. But again, it's like I said, I would rather, just for myself, because of where I work in, and I always refer to this, I work in some pretty dirty areas. I don't want to go into detail. So this is if this is, like I've worked in places where this last couple of years is the first time that before I would even walk in my apartment building, disinfected my shoes. So these things I'm not really crazy about if they don't last, because I expect them, like this year I've gone through 3 of these, but they're great. for when they're lasting. And I always keep a backup like I said. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. If you're going to carry something as your EDC and depend on it in case of an emergency, then yeah, those are like my handyman EDCs. But yeah, you're going to spend money like on a Nebo or well, the Wuben was pretty cheap. But this arc, like, yeah, I'm really liking this, and I'm glad I spent the $95 on it, right? And the clip, the other thing too, it's got the reversible clip on it. That's something that just that alone marks it differently from cheapies, because cheapies sometimes don't even have a clip on it.
I think the flashlights are following in the. What was that, Inky?
The clip on this isn't terrible. You could put it on a hat right here.
Yeah.
Or you could put it. You could use the other side of the clip.
Oh, that's handy. I like the fact that it works both ways.
Yeah,
but I was thinking that flashlights now are following in the footsteps of the printer people. You walk into Home Depot and you're getting a high quality flashlight for $6.99, which includes 2 AA batteries. But if you want to buy those 2 AA batteries separately, they're $9.99. Without the flashlight.
It's like the ink thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, that will do us for another week. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for hanging out again. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you guys. Yeah, thank you guys very much. And for the rest of you, thank you for listening to our weird ramblings about whatever. Again, if you have any comments on anything that you see or hear today, or you want to have some input, or you want to ask us a question, suggest a topic for discussion in the future, by all means, hit us up at forum.multitool.org. We're available on all the major social sites as well, but let's face it, multitool.org supports the community, and the billionaires, well, they don't. I'm still waiting for the check from Mark Zuckerberg, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be made of rubber when and if it ever arrives. So, visit our forum and support the community that is supporting all of you. And speaking of support, you may notice that I have no beard this week. And that is because it is November, or Movember. And I am going to be raising money for prostate cancer, or rather research into prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and depression and suicide issues, which are very, very serious concerns if you're a man or know of one that you would like to keep alive. So I'm going to make sure to put up the donation information, and maybe you can spare a couple of bucks to help us out, because it benefits all of us. And on that note, well, maybe by the end of the month I'll have something worth showing for it.
That's what Movember is, right? Mustache.
Exactly. I am growing a mustache. I am also, amusingly enough, doing something I call push up the donations, where each day of the month I am doing that day's amount of push-ups. So today is the 3rd. I've got to do 3 push-ups. Yes, I know you're listening to this well after the 3rd, but that's because we record these in advance.
I'm going to do my push-ups on the day that start and end with 0.
November the 0th. Okay, I'll put you down for that.
Thank you.
Anyways, ladies, gentlemen, everybody in between, thank you so much for coming out tonight, and I wish you all the best.